gentlemen. Today, what I have for us here is a cleaning hack. What I found is that if you do it this way, you'll get your phone cleaned a lot faster, and you won't have to use the microfiber cloth as much. Now, if you remember in the last video, I was wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you can achieve a really clean phone without having to do all the extra work. I performed this task on this one phone over here this morning. I also installed my GoPro app to be able to make this video. It appears that we have these two phones here before us that need to be cleaned. Now, the supplies you're going to need, once again, the disinfectant wipes. One disinfectant wipe should cover both of these phones, okay? Then you're going to need a paper towel. Just a little piece. You know, you get these half pieces of paper towel. They are great. Now, when you rip it off, ball it up, crumble it up, make it nice and smooth. Okay? So that it is like a little bit more softer than what we had before. Okay? Now, let's get down to business. Alright, first things first, these mobile devices need to be powered off. This is an iPhone. What you do is you hit that little, if you don't know the gesture, let me put in my code and stuff like that. Alright. Okay, so now what you can do is, if you don't know the gesture, you come down like that. And then there's a power thing up there. And it's going to ask you to slide the power off. And what happens is it powers off. Now what we have here is the Samsung. Similar gesture, power button. Then it's going to ask you emergency mode, restart, and then you have power off at the top. You power off. Okay. Gives a little buzz, lets you know it's powered off. Now this method is not going to require too much work on the part of the microfiber cloth. We have it here as just like we're going to do a wipe at the finish to do it. The trick is to have this ready and in your reach and get your disinfectant wipes out. Another thing is, last time I had a metal tool in the video. Do not use metal because you could scratch your stuff. You know, you could scratch the finish of the phone, you could scratch parts of your case and things like that. Even though this metal device here has quite a finish on it, it's not recommended. If you had long fingernails and things like that, something like this would actually be more beneficial. I don't need either or, and those are for situations where you have long nails, okay? The first things to do is to get the phones out of the case. That's it. And then sometimes what happens is you might end up inadvertently powering the phone on because it hits the button just enough on the side for the iPhone to power on the device. And that's okay because all we're going to do is get into it and then we're going to just turn it back off. Okay. So I got to put in my code and stuff like that to do the face the facial recognition, and then we're just gonna power it off again the same way. Sometimes that happens. It's no big deal. Slide the power off. All right, because that's what happens. All right, so we want to get that disinfectant wipe out. Have it ready to go. Okay. And we'll just put the supplies to the side for now. Alright, then the same thing here. We're going to take the case away from the phone. Put it to the side. Alright, now this is going to be a little different than the last video. Surfshark VPN. Get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can encrypt your internet connection, protect your data, change your IP address to master location, etc. This is how it connects. You know, you could connect with an application. This is on a Windows device, Windows 11, and it connects in a few seconds. And you could connect anywhere in the world, get your information or news or whatever from anywhere in the world without being geo-blocked, etc. And when it connects, it'll indicate that it's connected by a notification at the bottom. They feature a no logs policy, which means to do not store IP addresses in your activity or traffic data, and it's a RAM-only server. You can get it at techtronics.net. This is going to be a little different than the last video, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab something, whether it be a case or a phone, get it nice and wet, get all the surfaces, and immediately when you're done with the surface that's accessible to you, wipe it down with the paper towel, right? Flip it over the case, get in there, same thing, get it around, get it nice and wet, put it where it's accessible to you, and immediately wipe it down with the paper towel. If the paper towel should become a little bit saturated with the cleaning disinfectant liquid, oh well, you know, get another paper towel. Okay, so that case is done. All right, so we're ready, and I'm just gonna have one at the ready just to have one at the ready. Okay, same difference, you know, same thing. You're gonna basically crumble it up because we have quite a bit of material to clean today. And then watch this. This is where the magic happens, right? You get the phone and you clean the surface that's accessible to you. You grab that paper towel and you dry it up real quick, right? Dry it up nice and quick. Don't even miss a spot or nothing. And as you can see, if that light hits it right, let me get that light. There's no need to even use this cloth microfiber fiber, because we dried the residue that would result from not drying the phone in time. Same difference. Make sure you get every possible surface of the phone, and this is important because there are germs and bacteria 10 times what you would see on your toilet. So you know you want to get this nice and clean, and immediately right after we're going to wipe it down. We get it on the back side. Get your cameras and such. Same thing. Get it nice and wet with your disinfectant wipe. Grab your tissue real quick and make sure it's completely dry. And then do again, because you know you get the palm prints and things like that. You could use like rubber gloves and things like that to help you with that sort of thing. And you could use the microscopic microfiber cloth if you want to. And you don't have to use it as much as I did in the last video. Then you put the device in its case and it's ready to go that quick. Now what happens is you get your little fingerprint smudges on there from putting it back in the case. That's where your microcloth fiber comes in handy too. And you don't have to wipe it as much either way. You save time, and you get your device going again. Okay. And you see it's ready to go. Let it do its thing, and then we'll just put it to the side, get to the next device, right? All right, so we're ready for the next device. We got our wet we got our wet disinfectant wipe. And what's going to happen here is we're going to do the same process. Make sure you get in the nooks and crannies, because that's where germs and dust, caked up debris and contaminants like to reside. Quickly grab that napkin, that paper towel, and dry it up. It doesn't give the disinfectant a chance to dry, and leave a residue. Because if you do leave a residue, as I did in the last video, that was my mistake, then you have to really use your elbow grease to get it cleaned up. And then let's get the back side of the case. Okay. And you know, you want to get in there. This case has a texture and it looks great just once upon done, you know. And this is going to get ripped up and things like that, so you know, that's okay. Just, you know that, you know, that's why I said have a couple of them. And then we're ready for the next device, the Samsung. So we're gonna have everything within arm's reach that can be grabbed quickly, because timing is everything, right? We're gonna basically, we should have went for the back first, but I wasn't thinking in this instant. But we're gonna get it nice and good. Grab that real quick, and look at that beautiful finish. Look at that. Look at that. Now what's gonna happen is we're gonna have to just innovate a little bit and just throw it on its side. We want to get the surfaces, the side surfaces, nice and wet with the disinfectant wipe, and then we want to get and dry that up real quick. And the reason I put it face down on this napkin or a paper towel is to simply allow for me not to have to touch the glass, the screen up front. And then we get the back again, get it in the nooks and crannies and everything like that. And then again, get this paper towel, wipe it down real quick. And that finish is immaculate. You can't beat that with a bat. And everything's ready to go. And we flip it, you know, everything's nice and ready to go. We put it right back in the case where it belongs. Everything's nice and dry. And we get ready to clean up our materials. For the few fingerprints that you do have, you don't have to spend too much time with this microfiber cloth getting them out the way. You just don't. You save wear and tear on that microfiber cloth, and also getting it dirty. So, you know, you just get the few little smudges, you know, flip it, do it again, you know, and just wipe it with different pressures to get at what you want and things like that. If you have a little area that you just want to, you know, get it really good or double it, create that again, same process, you know, dry it up as quick as you can. And that looks even better than just using the microcloth fiber alone. You see what I'm saying? And if you see a smudge that, you know, I'm very OCD about this sort of thing, you know, you could get that too, you know, and just go up and down, varying pressure and that sort of thing. Then when all is said and done, you have a phone that doesn't have the funk and the germs and the bacteria of days past. And what happens is when you're ready, you turn it on, and then you do your thing. You know, if it's encrypted, you put in your password, such and everything, and you're back up and running. Be sure to subscribe. Check out the videos that we have coming up, and this or that and another. Be sure to hit the like and all that good stuff. Share the video with a friend. Everybody needs to clean their phone. Everybody. And if they can't clean their phone, you could clean it for them, and so on and so forth. Well, thanks for watching, and share the video. And thanks for watching, and have a good day.